Have you ever met a certified polar bear guard? Yes, these people do exist.
Think of them as a liaison for those daring enough to enter the cold and see the polar bears. Jeremy Grant, who we've done stories on before, has added that title, Certified Polar Bear Guard, to his resume, and he's got the footage to prove it.
We're on this remote island. It just blooms with these beautiful purple flowers, which seems like a fairy tale. The narrative that I've always seen is, polar bears, they're running around in the snow, they're drinking Coca-Cola. You never think about them running around in fields of flowers. So when you see it, it feels so unreal.
Where was this island?
So the island you're not going to find on any map, but the place that we jumped off of was Churchill, Manitoba, which is the unofficial polar bear capital of the world, which is just this phenomenal place. Like, there's Hudson Bay, which is bigger than the entire state of Texas. And what happens is near Churchill, there's all these river estuaries that come out. So this is the place the bay freezes first, and this takes you from the subarctic to the Arctic. So the polar bears, being so adaptive and so smart, over hundreds of years have started coming off the ice at Churchill. The time we were guiding the crew, we'd get within a couple hundred feet, and then the bears are watching you. They're very, very curious, and they'd come on and off the island. And then we probably saw maybe 8 or 9 on the island in 2 weeks. And then the crew left, and then it was just me. And then I saw 43 different bear come across the island within the 16 days that I was there alone.
Jeremy spent most of his summer capturing these moments. And if the polar bears didn't catch your eye, maybe this will. Or maybe this. When he wasn't capturing the polar bears roaming their natural habitat, Jeremy was back at camp.
Sometimes I'd be in my bear blind, which is this think about like a duck blind for hunting. It's just really thin plywood on a boat, just shoved up to the shore. And there'd be days where I'm not leaving the bear blind because there's 2 polar bears sleeping literally right outside the front door.
People often ask, how close did you actually come to the polar bear? Well, I'd say pretty close. This right here is Beavis, and his brother's name is Butthead. And the reason they got those names is this is the 3rd time today they've tried to break into my bear blind.
Him and his brother were trying to break in. One broke out the back window, another's pulling the front panel off, and you scare them away, and they're like 2.5-year-old, cubs that haven't been scared away yet, but they're still like 700 pounds. And then they'd go up onto the grass and lay with their mom. Then an hour later, they'd come back. And then you'd scare them away again like a dog, and then they'd go and they'd sit, and then they'd hang out for a couple days, and then they'd leave. Oh my So you just watched and just observing that behavior.
I know some of the shots, it's literally like, as you're watching it, it's like you're right there with them.
Yep. We had special drone permits to be able to fly with them. We never want to harass wildlife, but flying very slow, very methodical. And again, some of these bears are hanging out with me for days. So you're able to fly the drone and kind of see where they are on the island, and then they're very curious. Now some weird hairy guys running around the island smelling funky, they're gonna come check it out. And some of the experiences I couldn't capture because I promised my family I'd come home. So you're carrying the camera, and then you've got the shotgun, and you're trying to film, but then there's a bear right over here, but then another one swims up right over there, and as big as they are, they'll lay down and they blend right in.
Oh.
Even in a field of green or purple, they look like these rocks. So all of a sudden, one will get up over here, and you just have to stay calm and just slowly make your way out of there. But
wow.
It was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I don't know how your wife does it.
She's a superhero. She's a superhero. Absolute superhero. I can't do anything in my life without her.
You know what? Forget the rest of the show. We're just gonna
Forget the rest of the year. How are we going to top that?
Seriously.
In 2024.
Seriously, so cool. And I want to be clear too. This island, you can't just like jump on a ferry in Portland and get there. It's off of Canada, so it's nowhere near us. But it is incredible, and the shots that he got are just amazing.
The bear, we've talked about this before, but the bear and the hulk of the ship. It's just some of the most extraordinary images ever.
So good. So as you can imagine, we've talked to Jeremy so many times. He's already working on his next project. You can follow him on social media, or you can check out his website. It is thetimbercross.com.